Hello everybody, what's going on, and welcome back to another edition of Flick News, the show here on Flick Direct, where I give you guys the latest that happened in entertainment news throughout the week, and then I give you all my personal take on the matter at hand. I'm your host, Austin Putnam, and this week was surprisingly kind of a slow week, but with some big updates and with some pretty exciting announcements in terms of the film world. Let's just jump right into the first news for this week, and that is about Superman Legacy, well, now titled Superman. Not only has James Gunn's Superman Legacy has started production, but it has been now retitled Superman, and the official Superman logo has been revealed. It is right here, and personally, I think the logo is great. I think it's full of cover. I like how it does have that tiny little space between all the reds and the yellows and the space. I even love the snow look on this thing. I love how the film started production on Clark Kent's birthday. Really, the character's history, the production started on the birthday of Clark Kent, which, honest to God, I absolutely love that they started production on that. I mean, it's a coincidence, sure, but the coincidence is awesome. Superman Legacy comes out July of 2025. I cannot wait for this movie, and I am sure that everybody involved is going to deliver one amazing Superman film. Going on to our next bit of news, this is kind of a crossover between TV and gaming, but this is a bit of news that really bummed me out, but it also makes no sense. But let's talk about The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, to me, is one of the best shows on right now. And now, to be fair, I have not finished Season 3, but Seasons 1 and 2 are good and great system television. I believe this was reported not too long ago, but it was reported that a Mandalorian game would be in the works from Respawn, the same guys who brought us the Star Wars Jedi games, Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, and it's a company, it's a developer that's brought us some really good single-player campaigns, and company EA has decided to cancel the Mandalorian game because, A, they not only found it to be a risk, which makes no bloody sense, really, but also because they would be too worried. Is EA aware how big of a franchise that The Mandalorian is? I can only imagine the amount of players that would love to play as Mando. I mean, honest to God, and given Respawn's track record for not only great single-player campaigns, but for Star Wars titles, and the fact that EA was like, no, we gotta cancel this thing. EA just shot themselves in the foot big time, because what they could have had was something really, really special. I mean, again, Respawn as a developer not only makes some great campaigns, but also great Star Wars games. I mean, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was awesome, and the fact that they said that Mandalorian was too much of a risk, when Mandalorian is one of the biggest IPs, one of the biggest names in the Star Wars lore, Star Wars universe, EA. Come on, guys. The next thing I'm going to talk about here is a first look for a remake that I have been very optimistic for, but after seeing this first image, caution is my word for this. If you all remember correctly, there has been a remake of The Crow that's been in the works for a very, very long time. I mean, as far as I can remember, I can't remember exactly when the inception of the project began, but all I know is that for a very long time there has been a Crow remake in the works, and Rupert Sanders has been attached to director for a very, very long time. Also, Bill Skarsgård to do The Crow, which I think is a brilliant choice. But a couple of days ago, a first look of The Crow was finally revealed, and not a fan of this. And you want to know what the funny thing is? The little girl in the original film, I can't remember her name, I'll put her right here, but her words, and I'm paraphrasing this, by the way, were that the character in this first look would look like a character that the Crow would actually go after. If you look at this character, he looks like one of the people that the Crow would go after, not the Crow himself. Bill Skarsgård, brilliant actor. Rupert Sanders, I think from what I have seen, has a lot of talent behind that camera. But from that first look, my optimism for this remake has gone very far down. I am hoping that they pull out all the strings possible, but this first look was not a great first look. This character, this new version of the Crow, looks like a villain. He looks like a villain, honest to God, and I don't want to say it because I've been very optimistic for this remake, but just seeing that it just really gives me a lot more caution. It puts my guard walls up more than having them, taking them down. Moving on to our final bit of movie news this week, and that is the biggest update on the new Jurassic Park film, which is now being titled Jurassic City. Not the biggest fan of the title, first I'm going to say, but there is an update to this as well that made me very curious, and that is who is directing this movie. Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edwards, who brought us Godzilla, Rogue One, and last year's The Creator, is going to essentially, well, nothing's been signed on yet, but he has been contacted and tapped to direct a brand new Jurassic Park film, which, hey, you know what? Gareth Edwards, brilliant visual director. I mean, this man can create visual effects that are absolutely outstanding, and seeing his touch on a Jurassic Park film, honest to God, makes me very, very curious to see what he would do. But I'm still thinking, why do we need to make another Jurassic Park film? I mean, wasn't Jurassic World Dominion supposed to be the last movie, the end of the whole franchise? Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm a big fan of Gareth Edwards. I think the man is a phenomenal filmmaker. David Cope is writing the screenplay, which, hey, I love that. I love the combination of the writer-director. But the fact they want to keep going making Jurassic Park films, they need to stop with these movies, in all honesty. That's just my personal opinion. Jurassic World, the first movie, was a lot of fun. Fallen Kingdom, I wasn't a fan of, and then Dominion was just not a good movie. My personal opinion on this whole thing, lay Jurassic Park to rest. And that is going to wrap things up for this week's news. Please comment down below, starting off, how do y'all feel about Superman Legacy now being titled Superman? And also, how do y'all feel about the brand new logo? Also, when it comes down to the Mandalorian game being canceled, how do y'all feel about that? And also, when it comes down to the first look at The Crow, Bill Skarsgård's The Crow, do you think this looks like The Crow, or do you feel like this is going to be like a villain look for The Crow? And finally, how do y'all feel about Jurassic Park now being titled, a brand new Jurassic Park being titled Jurassic City? Do you think that it's needed, or do you think that Jurassic Park should be just laid to rest? Let us know below. I hope you enjoyed this week's news. If so, please hit that like button, also share, and don't forget the subscribe button and the notification bell for our latest new show goes live. If you guys want to see for previous 2 new shows, please click it right there or right there. And of course, until next week's new show goes live, we'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Hit like, smash subscribe, and get notified for whenever reviews, interviews, and news go live.